Yo, what is going on, Draft League fans? My name is IronBoffin, coach of your Rochester Ride-Ons, and we are up against a challenge today. We are playing UziGunner, longtime Draft League veteran, multiple championship, multiple finals appearances, and boy, it's going to be a game. And I think we brought the team we need, so we're hopefully we got what we're cooking. So let's go ahead and take a peek at Uzi's team. Uzi's team is probably one of the scariest teams I've ever had to prep for. The good news is his roster is thin. He does not have a deep roster, so we don't have to prep for a lot, but what we do have to prep for is scary. So let's talk about it. First up, he's got a Darkrai and a BOFFIN. Those two together, 160 attack on the BOFFIN and like 10, what is the Darkrai? Like 10 billion? I think Darkrai has 10 billion special attack. 135, might as well have been 10 billion. Can obviously cause problems with like hypnosis, bad dreams, can be nasty plot. I believe he won week 1 by stealing a shell smash from a cloister with mirror herb. So this guy is a draft league player. He's crazy. So we got to be ready for a lot of things. We got another Zapdos there, which is probably a very reliable defensive check for him. Could also be offensive going into like my Meowscarada, for example. So that's kind of scary. Then we got the Glamora, the Rillaboom, the Rhyperior, the Tinkaton, the Hisuian Zoroark. I really don't want to see Hisuian Zoroark because it's just a mind game Pokemon. Would prefer not to see that. And the Pissimian. So I do think we can... I don't think the Pissimian is super good into me that I have Psychic Terrain and a Clefable. And so hopefully we don't see that. But we got to worry about the Darkrai and the BOFFIN here. So we have a couple of options into that. But this team is very scary. I don't know who the heck let him draft this. His speed tiers are great. But let's go ahead and check out my squad going into Uzi. All right, first up, we are rocking Fire Lord Ozai, the Iron Moth. Rocking the Choice Scarf. We are max attack, or max special attack, max speed to speed tie with the Hisuian Zoroark. Worst case, just in case something is disguised as it, I can speed tie it, and that's like all I can hope for. This thing does get absolutely dropped by a Jet Punch from BOFFIN. Even like doesn't have to be banded, just regular Jet Punch destroys me. So we need to be careful with that. That's why we're not going with like a booster energy or anything like that. We do have the Choice Scarf, so that whole way, hopefully we can come in and get out. Get in, get out. That's the goal with Ozai here. The good news is my opponent does not have a ghost type outside of Zoroark. So if I want to go for the rapid spin, I'm bringing him on top. If I want to go for the rapid spin, he'll have to show me who the disguised Pokemon is. So we'll have to play around that. Other mons we got up. We have oh no, sorry, and then let's finish Iron Moth. Hold on. We got U-turn, Fiery Dance, Energy Ball, and Dazzling Gleam. Best case scenario is we can come in late game and just click Fiery Dance and start getting some boosts, even if BOFFIN is low. Maybe BOFFIN might be banded and not be able to pick up some kills if it goes for Jet Punch, etc., etc. So I'm excited for this. We have the Energy Ball and Dazzling Gleam, like I said, just kind of coverage. He does have a Rhyperior that is Terra Captain and Rillaboom that is Terra Captain. So if the Rhyperior doesn't Terra, then it's weak to the Energy Ball. If the Rillaboom Terras, I expect like Terra Fire, I think makes a lot of sense. That'll be a problem for me to deal with, but that's a problem for later me, not a problem for right now me. Next up, we're bringing Neji making their debut, our first Indeedee form. Plot twist, if I bring the female Indeedee, it's going to be Hinata, of course. Love my Naruto. So we have Neji with Life Orb here, rocking the Psychic Surge ability. I do expect Rillaboom to come here just so that way I can't do Psy Spam. But I am coming prepared with my own Psychic Terrain move in case I want to try to predict the Rillaboom coming in and reset my terrain so that way I can keep going offensive. Because Expanding Force in the terrain kills non-Assault Vest Rillaboom. If he is Assault Vest, I do like, I don't know, like a 70%. So I do a lot of damage. So Rillaboom is not a safe switch into me, even though it wants to take my terrain. So it could be like Terra Dark as well, just to kind of avoid that. But we do have the Dazzling Gleam to cover, Darkrai and the Rillaboom. We have the Healing Wish for late support if bringing a kind of a mon that we might want to Healing Wish into. And next up, we're bringing... Oh, so we have enough speed here for Tinkaton and max special attack. And then we're, optimized for Life Orb here, rocking 269 HP. So that way, Life Orb only takes 26 versus like 27. So... Or we can have the most amount of HP for it taking 26. Damn it. Anyway. But next up, we're bringing them back. Kayano the Masquerada here to do hopefully a little bit better than last week. Unfortunately, last week, that static belly bolt, let me tell you. So this week we're rocking protective pads because I do expect Zapdos to be an answer to this thing. trying to get me to get static conditioned. So we're going to try to avoid that. We have enough speed to outspeed. I don't think... Oh, I'm not outspeeding Zoroark here because I have the Sucker Punch. We're outspeeding the Palafin here with this set. I'm probably going to regret that. Oh, well, we're too late. It's too late. We have the Flower Trick, the Triple Axle, U-Turn, and Spikes. Spikes, I'm going to lead this thing because I do expect him to lead the baby Palafin. And then hopefully he just hard switches. I could see him potentially going for like a Scarf Flip turn or something on me. It's going to be a little scary that first turn because I do want to get my spikes up. But that could end very poorly for me, as I don't think he's safe. He's not safe to go for an attack because I could Sucker Punch and just rip off a bunch of damage. So I do expect them to switch first turn, and I want to get a layer of spikes up. I don't need a lot of spikes, just a little something to break some sashes, get a little chip. We have the U-Turn, Triple Axle, and Flower Trick for everything else. Next up, we have the man. We have the man with the Assault Vest and Intimidate with Close Combat, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Rapid Spin. We're rocking Max Defense, Max HP with the Impish Nature. Basically, we're going to attempt to live some hits from like the Rhyperior. We're going to attempt to live some hits from the Palafin. But a Banded Wave Crash, even with this speed, does a tremendous amount of damage to me. I believe it does 50% minimum. So he would kill me with 2 Banded Wave Crashes. But you know what? That's I'm going to tell you, during prep, there was not a lot I could do into Palafin here. Next up, we're bringing their debut. This is Verso. This is Future Verso. The Iron Crown rocking the Booster Energy with Quark Drive with Psychic, Tachyon Cutter, Terra Blast, and Agility with the Terra Fighting Terra type. My Terra Captain this week. I'm hoping to not have to Terra Verso, but I'm probably going to have to. Basically, if we end up in a spot where we're kind of like in front of Darkrai, then I have to Terra Fighting, so that way I get a knockout. I'm guaranteed. I do like 91% to like non-invested Darkrai, and his Darkrai has to be like max speed to outspeed Meowscarada, so that's really cool. But yeah, we're rocking the Terra Blast, and the Agility is so that way when I get an Agility up, I'm the fastest thing on the field, and hopefully we can sweep. So with the Terra Fighting, I'm hoping that we get ourselves into a spot where our Agility gets us to +2 and our Booster Energy keeps us at like basically like a plus, like a Life Orb. I think it's like a 1.3 boost, right? Yeah, 1.3 boost. So basically like a free Life Orb. Lets me change my moves. Psychic, Tachyon Cutter like basically hits everything on his team. And then the Terra Blast to one-shot Darkrai if we need it. Then we have Saiken, the Assault Vesting, Sap Sipping, Terra Water, Hisuian Gudra. This thing's rocking Ice Beam, Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt, and Sleep Talk. This thing is my kind of dedicated switch in to Darkrai. Basically, Darkrai really can't do a lot to me with this set. So I'm hoping that if I switch into a Hypnosis, then like in the Hypnosis hits, worst case I have Sleep Talk. I have the Bolt Beam coverage and the Flash Cannon. That way I'm doing respectable damage to a little bit of everything. This is also kind of the target I'm looking to hit with the Healing Wish. Kind of go into Saiken pretty regularly here and use the Healing Wish to kind of restore my HP back up. So I am pretty excited for Saiken here this week. But this is a tough team. It's going to be a tough game. Thankfully, so this week we had to stall our game a little bit because I was just playing PPL Finals. If we're watching this, you should have seen our PPL Finals game, and we did win the championship there, so that was super exciting. But I had to prep for Uzi too. So we're playing Uzi. I think I think we got a good squad here, so I'm excited. But thankfully, after this, I am just down to the BUBL League, so we can kind of focus all of our energy into BUBL, and we can get some nice teams built and everything. Not that I don't think this is a nice team, but you know what I mean. I'm not split focus on different leagues. But enough of me yapping. Let's get into the game. All right, Draft League fans, we are here. He brings the Passimian. You know, sometimes I say things in team builders. Like, hopefully we don't see the Passimian, and then Passimian shows up. That's so funny. Okay, so what is the Passimian here to do? I guess we want to check out its moves and see what you're trying. You didn't bring Rhyperior and no Hisuian Zoroark, which I'd rather see Passimian than Hisuian Zoroark. So that's great. So we'll kind of see what he wants to do with that. I still like my kind of dedicated lead of Kayano here, which is also really good of Kayano that I didn't speed creep the Zoroark because I got to save those for later. So that's cool. He's also Terra Water on the Rillaboom, and we have Zapdos and Tinkaton as his last mons. Cool. All right. Let's get a good game in here. I'm expecting that Rillaboom to, in fact, be, like I said, like an Assault Vest set to kind of have an easier time with Indeedee. This will be an interesting game. Hopefully it's a good game. I don't think I've ever played Uzi before. So this is exciting. I watch a lot of their content, so make sure Uzi's putting out great stuff. So his link and stuff will be down in the description below, so make sure you guys check that out. I am just going to lead the Meowscarada. If you don't lead Palafin, that's fine. That's fine if you don't lead Palafin. I am going to make sure that I don't die to anything right off the rip. Like, I could see like a Scarf Passimian being something if that's what they lead with. They lead with Maui. Okay, leads the Rillaboom. Okay. Leading the Rillaboom. So I'm pretty safe to go for my U-turn here. You're going to want to Terra Water. You're not going to Terra Water in front of me, I don't think. I mean, you could Terra Water here. What do I want to go? I'll just Terra Water. You don't kill me. You're not going to be Scarf. I'll just U-turn here. Okay. Sets up their terrain first. Who's coming in? Addison. Yeah, I would have liked to get my spikes up, but spikes would have been great there. But it's fine. We can go into eject button. Ooh, eject button. Okay, use eject button. Also took like 0 damage. Not that it would take any anyway. It's resisted, but save. That works out that I didn't get my spikes there because it's better to be not in against Tinkaton there. I am kind of sad though because I wanted to U-turn into Moth and get Fiery Dance off. So I don't know if they planned on that or if they like saved it for later or not sure there. Pandoria. Okay, here comes Zapdos. Eject button stops me from U-turning out? Question mark? Interesting, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Not that it's a big deal. I'm just going to go into Psyken here. Not a big deal. Didn't know that. Very interesting. Okay, we get to go into Psyken. Goes for Volt Switch. Yeah, that makes sense. A whole 0 damage on Psyken. I am free to... Okay, so let's also note what we saw. We saw Volt Switch. On the Zapdos. It's not going to do anything to me, so we're not going to get to calc any damage off of that. I feel like Passimian is like the play here. But I am free to Terra Water here. Who's Maui? Okay, Rillaboom. Rillaboom, what's your plan, though? Your Terra Water. I have the Thunderbolt to deal with you. I'm immune to Grass. You could knock off, which I would not appreciate. Do I want to go into the man? I'd rather keep my stuff on Psychic here. Let's go into the man and get my Intimidate. Let's go into the man and get Intimidate. Let's also see if you Terra Water here. The man. I'll take the attack drop. Like I said, I think a knockoff is coming here. Let's see if we can get any intel on this Rillaboom set. I'm curious if you are, like I said, I'm curious if you're Intimidate or if you're Banded. Let's see if you Wood Hammer. Okay, you U-turn. That did nothing. That's not going to tell me if you're Banded or not. We're kind of in the spin cycle right now. Once one of us gets some footing, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes once one of us gets a foothold in this game. My Indeedee is looking fantastic. So that's exciting. Hasn't also not, I'll make a note that he's not hero yet. Not hero Palafin. Because that does matter. Because like the first time it comes in, it can't hurt me too bad. It's only like base 70 attack until it becomes a god. Who let Uzi get Darkrai and Palafin on the same team? I want to talk to people. Is it me? Did I do that? I mean, that's true. I drafted Slowking instead of Palafin. Maybe I should have, okay, Rex comes in. Who's this? Okay, here comes the Palafin. Okay, so I'm expecting like a little flip turn action here. You're going to want to get out. I feel like Zapdos is a really safe switch for you. Zapdos is such a safe switch for you. I'm going to go ahead and go for my Stone Edge. That did a lot. Can we see if that was banded? That was a lot. I do believe that to be banded. Hero, banded, question mark. Okay. We try to catch Zapdos coming in. We do not. We get this thing instead. Which is not who we wanted. This is not who we wanted. This thing is a little bit of a problem to me. For sure. But, like, what's Passimian doing? I'm tempted to trade close combats. Because I think he could just U-turn. I really don't want to go into Ozai. Because this thing could Earthquake and that would really suck. I'll stay in. I'll just close combat here. Okay, he's bulking up. Okay, that's not great. But it's okay because he's not, like, fast. So we know he's not gonna do anything crazy. Woke up. Okay. I don't really have anything for that. I think the only thing I could do is be really aggressive and go into Ozai here, because he is free to do that again. If he EQs, though, and I take an Earthquake, boy, that's going to really stink. That's going to really stink. I am not in a good spot, boy. I don't hate trying to be aggressive with Ozai here. How much is this thing doing? Like +1. I'm -1. His close combat's knocking me out. How much is like Moth taking to that? I don't hate losing. EQ would just kill me. I don't hate losing the man here either. I don't hate losing the man here. Yeah, close combat. I could have tried to be aggressive with that. You got a crit. That doesn't matter. Passimian, KOs, Hitmontop with CC. I didn't really need, without like a good rocker on his end, I didn't really need to keep that around. What I could do here is go into Verso. I don't want to do that because I don't want to pop my thing early. I could just go into Neji here. I think Neji is the correct play because this thing is definitely slower than I am. This thing is definitely slower than I am, and I would definitely kill with Expanding Force. So let's go ahead and go into Neji here. I can also Degleam, which is really good because I could try to catch in. I don't think he sends in the Darkrai to this. Actually, I'll be safe here. I will go for the Expanding Force, because if the Darkrai comes in, I have a switch. But if this thing's AV and somehow lives a Dazzling Gleam, which I think an AV... Or it can't be AV, because of... he's not going to go into Darkrai here, though. That's too risky. Like, also the fact that this thing is weak to Fairy. I don't think there's any chance he goes into Darkrai. Yeah, switches out. Show me the Rillaboom. I should, even if when you reset my terrain here, I should still do great damage. Like, I should still do, unless you're like fully Spadef here, which we're going to see kind of what you are. That's, okay, that's 0. So you are like 1 billion, you're like AV and like max Spadef. Are you Assault Vest and like max Spadef? Yeah, you are. You have to be. You are. Yeah. Okay, so you're a very Spadef set. You're AV. Confirmed. AV, very Spadef. Okay. So that's okay. We can kind of deal with that. Let's go out into... Saiken is kind of my good play here, so let's go into Saiken. That's okay. Saiken benefits from the healing here. You just U-turn. The problem is I do let you out back into the Passimian here, but if you go into Passimian, it's okay. Because I can Terra Water here. But as much as I would love to save my Terra for Darkrai. And he's not going into Darkrai at all, so that leads me to believe he, like... We can see a couple of things here. Goes into this thing. Like I said, I could Terra Water. Is this thing doing any... Let's see some damage calculations here if I have to use my Terra here. Passimian, we know you're not Scarf. Maybe you're trying to catch like a Defiant boost from like Lando or something. He's still doing a good amount to me with close combat here. Do I want that damage? I guess I don't mind that damage per se. I do need to chip this thing down. So we'll go for a Flash Cannon. We'll Terra and we'll go for a Flash Cannon. I think this is still a good option for Palafin. So I think it's okay. Because we still do a lot of damage on Darkrai with Tachyon Cutter on Crown. So I think this was kind of my planned on set anyway. Okay, so we did like half. That's about right for max attack Jolly. Flash Cannon is going to do a lot to him now that he's -1. We love that for me. Good damage. Good damage. Good damage. Okay, so the question is, can we try to catch him? I could try to be aggressive here because I definitely don't want to lose Saiken. But and EQ's weakened anyway. We could try to be aggressive. And I'm tempted to be aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive here. I might eat my words, but we'll find out what happens here. Passimian was a good bring. This was a good bring. Goes for close combat. We don't really care about damage on this thing, so that's fine. And I think an Energy Ball would kill from here. And I want to go for Energy Ball. Let me just check and make sure that this would kill a Passimian here. He's -1. I'm pretty sure. At -1, Energy Ball definitely kills, and I want to try to catch some damage on a Rillaboom. If he saves this thing. He might not save it, so. So definitely a couple different options for Uzi here. Definitely a couple different choices. But could go Zapdos. I don't think Zapdos... Okay, we're going to go for the Energy Ball. We're going to get knocked out. See you later! Okay, that's really good then. So, Iron Moth KOs Passimian with Energy Ball. Cool. So that's good for me. This does invite in Palafin, which is not good for me. That's not good. Palafin is like pretty free to come in here because Jet Punch knocks me out anyway, but I do think his Palafin's banded. Okay, so he's going into the void. Into the void. Okay, so this thing is not faster than me, but I am Scarfed, so he's going to know that. What do I think is my best play into this thing? Let's go out. Saiken's kind of low, which is not good. I'm assuming Iron Moth is doing nothing to Darkrai with Energy Ball. Energy Ball's doing 40%. But I expect like a Psychic to come in here. Let's just go Saiken. We'll have to see kind of what the coverage is on this Darkrai. I probably should have scarfed myself into D-Gleam. Because I had to switch into the Rillaboom. I should not have invited Darkrai in by being... Yeah, no, I should have gone for D-Gleam. I think it was a lot safer. And you go for Dark Pulse. Okay, that's fine. That's not fine. That did a lot. Was that? Oh, your Life Orb. Okay. Life Orb. Okay, we saw Dark Pulse. Cool. I'll just go for a Flash Cannon here. Try to get some damage on something. If he goes Rillaboom, I want to get a Healing Wish into Psyken really bad. Goes for Psyshock. Oh, that's going to knock me out, I think. I'm very defensive. He might not knock me out. Oh, he does. Okay, unfort. That's unfort. Don't like that. Darkrai, KOs, Udra, Psyshock. I thought there was a chance I would live that. I really did. I'm not safe to go into Verso. I am safe to go into Ozai, though. I am safe to go into Ozai. Because I can just Dazzling Gleam. Or I can just U-turn. I think U-turn's my better play. I'm going to Ozai here. He'll know I'm Scarfed, but that's fine. Not a good loss there. I did think I would live a Psyshock. I'm not going to lie to you. Was that close? Probably not as close as I would like think. Okay, good. We do get a little bit of momentum back here. Maui comes in. Yep, here comes the Rillaboom. Hi, Rillaboom. Okay, so Rillaboom is like a very large problem. The Terra Water on Rillaboom is an issue. So what I can do here is I can go out into... I think my best play is actually going into Kayano and just going for a Flower Trick. Zapdos is pretty safe into that, but I can that's fine because I don't really care if Zapdos comes in. I can still triple axle with Zapdos. Is he gonna be like a Scarf Zapdos? We'll play that one by air. Let's see how this goes. Okay. I'll go for the Flower Trick here. And we might get a little intel on... Like, I assume Zapdos comes in here. I don't think you stay in, since you're weak to me. But I also don't want to go for triple axle, because I would do nothing to this thing, and he could get a lot of damage off on me for free. So... That's not, like, a safe go for. And I don't think Zapdos is taking... We'll get a little beat on the Zapdos Flower Trick with Grassy Terrain up. Okay, it goes into this thing. Okay. He goes into this thing. That's damage. That's not nothing. That was I was gonna say that was a crit. That's always a crit. Okay. His team is very hard for me to break down here. This could be a Scarf set. We haven't really seen too much on Tinkaton. He could be Scarf. Gigaton Hammer would hurt pretty bad here. I am just pure Grass type. Based on the damage from Flower Trick not doing very much, I would believe this is pretty defensive. So what I would like to do is... He could go for like a Thunder Wave, which would really suck here. We'll go for a U-turn. Let's see... Okay, not Scarf. Not that we really thought it was Scarf, but... Stole my pads. The Protect... That's not great. The freaking pickpocket, bro. Pickpocketed my pads. Pickpocketed pads. So sad. That's very unfortunate. Okay, so what do I want to do to that? That's horrendous for me. That's so unfortunate. Do I want to go into... I kind of can't lose Ozai. Neji's probably the least useful here. Let's see if Neji can go in and live a hit and then maybe, like, get Ozai some health back. Best case scenario, Neji lives a hit here. Best case scenario. Goes for Stealth Rock. Okay, that's fine too. Yeah, so this is like a very defensive. So we kill Pacific. Is Tinkaton, how does Tinkaton like this? I mean, the Rillaboom switch-in is pretty obvious here. Right? Expanding Force is not doing a lot to this thing. Show me the switch in a Rillaboom. Damn it. I've been conditioned. Oh, goes for the light screen. That's even worse. Yeah, we're in trouble. Yeah, we've definitely lost kind of control of this game here. Definitely unfortunate to not get any damage off, and now they have a screen up. Not much I can do to that one, unfortunately. You can't knock me out in one hit, which is good news. We'll go for the Expanding Force now, I guess. Tough. So I kind of have to stall out these turns a little bit here. The light screen is such a good play on that. This is going to do literally nothing. Oh, I got a crit. I'll take it. Thank you for the crit. I'll take it. Deal. Okay, so I do think my best bet here, you're going to U-turn, I feel. I feel like U-turn is your proper response. It is tough to let Neji go down here, because it is still not the worst Pokemon I have. But Palafin kills you. Like, if I were to Healing Wish, like, who would I even go into? I could go into Kayano, because I wouldn't take... I don't think it would activate yet, but I don't want to take a U-turn. Man, this kind of stinks. I'm going to go for Psychic Terrain here. Let's get our terrain back. We want to try to stall out these light screen turns. We at least know that it's not... whatchamacallit. We know that he's not banded. We know that he's not... Ooh, we left on 1. Let's go. Okay, so that's cool. Psychic Terrain is good because that still stops Palafin from clicking Jet Punch, which I appreciate. Comes Rex. Okay. Hi, Palafin. I love Palafin so much. Yeah, Palafin is such a problem. I don't have a switch into Palafin, so I do have to let you kill me. Which I wish I didn't, but I do have to let you kill me. You can't Jet Punch me. So we know he's like a back speed, but that's not surprising. Palafin, KOs, Indeedee. And he can just go back out into... He can just go back out into whatchamacallit. Yeah, into Maui. Yeah, man, this is tough. Tough team to break down here. Yeah, no, this is a tough... This is not going well. We can go back into Kayano here, which is fine. We're definitely not going into Ozai. The only thing that sucks here is I am very likely to get static by Zapdos at this stage. I'm still going to Flower Trick because I need to do damage to this thing, and like predicting Zapdos to come in doesn't do anything for me. Predicting the Zapdos does nothing. So we don't need to predict Zapdos to come in. We can go for Flower Trick, we can take a turn, we can go for Triple Axle. Let's see if we can get a tell on... I'm assuming this is going to be like a very defensive Zapdos. Grass type. I did a lot. With the grassy terrain boost, that is more or less what I would expect. How much is Triple Axle doing if I'm not boosting? Triple Axle is doing 50%. So also the light screen must be gone by now. Yeah. This is a tough spot to be in for sure. I feel like you just Volt Switch. What do I want to do here? Do I want to go for the triple axle? If I go for triple axle, I risk getting parried. If I go into Verso, I'm kind of going for game. I could try to sack Ozai here, I guess. Ozai's going to die to rocks. I do not like this position that I am in. Let's just go for a triple axle. Like, we're kind of in a really bad spot, so. Oh, we get the KO. Do I die? Do I get static? No static? Did I actually dodge a static? Meow kills Zapdos with triple axle. Okay, there we go. We didn't even need the... There we go. Okay. That's good news. That's good news. Okay, this thing comes in. You're not good news. You're not who I'm happy to see. We'll have to go for a U-turn. I feel like you can get your light screen up here. We have to go for U-turn. We can't stay in. And we're going to go out into... We obviously have to go out into Ozai. And if you kill me... I have to go Ozai anyway. I have to go Ozai anyway. Could go for Gigaton Hammer for sure. Goes for the left. Kind of what I figured was going to happen. The big problem is the damn Rillaboom is still like 10 billion health. So let's go for a U-turn here. Do I expect you to switch? No, I think you're going to stay in. You switch. I thought you were going to stay in and try to like... I guess there's no reason to tank. Try to tank this, right? Could have gone for an energy ball, but even with the light screen and stuff, that wouldn't really help. I did one. I got a special attack boost. It's over. GG no re. I wish I wasn't Scarf here. Okay, that's good that you don't have your terrain. That's good news for me. I do think... Do you just like U-turn here? I can't really switch, so I'm gonna stay in and Fiery Dance again. Maybe you U-turn here. Give me another boost and U-turn. Okay, U-turn. Goes for knock. Oh, if I had lived that, that would have been sick. All right. If I had lived that, okay. Rillaboom KOs Moth with knockoff. We are forced into Kayano again here. The good news is he doesn't have a good switch into Kayano. I mean, he still has the Tinkaton, but we're just like not gonna do any damage to the Tinkaton. But is there anything I can do about it? Literally nothing. We're not like out of it. Like Kayano is still very good. Kayano is still very good. I just don't have anything for that Tinkaton, which isn't ideal. But Tachyon Cutter is going to be neutral into that, so we might have to get into a spot where we need to get into... I see the endgame vision. Okay, you switch out. Who comes in here? Yeah, Tinkaton comes in. You're still very healthy. My God. You are still so healthy. How much is... How much are we doing with Crown into this? Crown is doing 50 to 60%. I wish I had gotten spikes up turn 1. That's probably my only regret is that I just didn't get my spikes up. But like that would have been a tough read turn 1. Let me get... We have to U-turn here anyway, regardless. So let's U-turn. We're at 50% on that thing, so we're going to have to see what you do here to Iron Crown. I think your terrain is still up here, or your light screen. So we have to go Verso now. Verso! Do you have like Thunder Wave? Our booster energy pops. Warp Drive activates. We get a special attack boost. Tinkaton Hammer. We should eat this somewhat comfortably. Yeah, it did not very much. Okay, and the white screen wore off, which is great. We're just going to go for a Tachyon Cutter. Ooh, we're not quite going to get the KO. Oh, big crit there. That's a big crit. Crown KOs Tinkaton with T-Cutter. That's a pretty important crit. I do think that's relatively important here. I do think that's pretty important. The Void. Okay, so let's see. Are you knocking me out? You gotta knock me out for this range, right? Because I can't Terra. I should have saved my Terra, but at the same time, I should have agility there, I think. I think agilitying there was my play, or just saving my Terra. I think that's... I understood why I did it for Psychic, because I was in a bad spot, but I don't think I have... the options here. Do I need... Realistically, Verso's not helping me in this late game anyway. Realistically. So let's Tachyon Cutter. Yeah, Dark Pulses. Yeah. Okay, so Darkrai, KOs... Crown with D-Pulse. Lost some HP. We can go Kayano here. We need to decide. I think I need to be a grass type here. I'm sure you have the Sludge Bomb, but is the Sludge Bomb going to be enough to kill me? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is. But... all we can really do is we can just Flower Trick and hope for the best. Yep, Sludge Bomb. GG's to Uzi. That is just... Uzi, you have built quite the team. KOs Meow with Sludge Bomb. Uzi has built a monster team and is a very accomplished Draft League player. I know the season is tough here, 0-2 start. But don't let that fret. We have played two absolutely incredible opponents. So make sure you guys go check out Uzi. His link and stuff will be down in the description below. Yeah, don't fret. I know like 0-2 is a tough start coming off like a PPL championship. But like I said, we're playing two championship teams here. So, and that team is incredible. And I had a pretty tough match, like not even being able to bring Lando. So I'm not scared. I think we'll be able to put on a good show for the season. But make sure you guys, like I said, make sure you guys go check out Uzi. And I'm going to get the flock on out of here. Have a good one.